welcome. I want to tell you something honestly. This is not one of those videos where I give you 5 quick tips and disappear. This is not about motivation that feels good for 10 minutes and then fades away. This is deeper than that. Because today, we are talking about something that quietly controls your entire life. Your reactions. The way you respond when someone hurts you. The way you behave when things don't go your way. The way you react when life tests your patience. Most people don't realize this. But your reactions decide your peace. Your reactions decide your relationships. Your reactions decide your future. We live in a world where everyone wants something from you. Some want your attention. Some want your validation. Some want your energy. And some just want your reaction. They provoke you. They ignore you. They insult you. They misunderstand you. And the moment you react, they win. Not because they are stronger, but because they controlled you. Lesson 1. The moment you react, you lose control. Let me ask you something. Have you ever said something in anger and then wished you could take it back? Have you ever sent a message and then stared at your phone thinking, why did I say that? That is what reacting does. It feels powerful in the moment, but it leaves you weak afterwards. Because when you react without thinking, you are not acting from strength. You are acting from emotion. And emotion, without control, is dangerous. Imagine this. A man spends years building his reputation. He works hard. He stays disciplined. He earns respect. And then one day, in just one moment of anger, he shouts, he reacts, he loses control. And suddenly, people don't remember his years of hard work. They remember his one moment of weakness. That is the cost of reacting. Lesson 2. Most reactions become regrets. Here is a painful truth. You don't regret what people said to you. You regret how you responded. You don't carry their insult. You carry your reaction. The argument that broke a friendship. The message that ended a relationship. The anger that destroyed trust. These things don't happen in big dramatic ways. They happen in small, uncontrolled reactions. A few words, a few seconds, a few emotions. And then, everything changes. There was once a girl who loved her best friend deeply. They shared everything, dreams, secrets, laughs. One day during a simple conversation, her friend said something careless. It touched an old wound. And in that moment, she exploded. She didn't just respond, she reacted. She said things she didn't mean. She spoke from pain, not truth. Her friend went silent. Days passed. Then weeks. And slowly, the friendship disappeared. Years later, she didn't remember the words her friend said. She remembered her own reaction. That's the thing about reactions. They don't just end moments. They end connections. Lesson 3. Silence is not weakness. People misunderstand silence. They think silence means fear. They think silence means weakness. But silence is one of the strongest things you can choose. Because it is easy to shout. It is easy to argue. It is easy to react. But it is very hard to stay calm when everything inside you wants to explode. Silence is not empty. It is controlled power. There was once a man who was insulted publicly. People laughed. People watched. People expected him to respond. But he didn't. He stood there, calm, quiet, still. Days passed. Then the truth came out. The people who insulted him were wrong. And suddenly, his silence became his strength. Because while others were loud, he was in control. And control is power. Lesson 4. Not everything deserves your energy. This is where most people fail. They try to respond to everything, every message, every insult, every misunderstanding, every opinion. But here's the truth. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything deserves your energy. Every time you react, you spend something valuable, your peace, your focus, your time. And once it's gone, you can't get it back. Imagine your energy as money. Would you spend it on every random person? No. Then why do you spend your emotions so freely? Some people don't want your peace. They want your reaction. Because your reaction feeds them. Your anger entertains them. Your frustration gives them power. And the moment you understand this, you stop reacting. Not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Lesson 5. Calmness is a superpower. The calm person in a room is always the strongest. Not the loudest, not the most aggressive, the calmest. Because calm people see clearly. They don't rush decisions. They don't lose control. They don't break under pressure. There was once a situation in a crowded place. A man was shouting, angry, out of control. Everyone around him reacted. Some shouted back. Some got scared. Some moved away. But one person remained calm. He didn't react. He simply looked at the angry man and said, "I hope whatever you are going through gets better." And something unexpected happened. The angry man stopped. His anger faded. Because calmness has a strange power. It doesn't fight chaos. It dissolves it. Lesson 6. Reaction is habit. Response is power. Most people don't react because they want to. They react because they are used to it. It has become their habit. Someone says something rude, they react. Someone ignores them, they react. Something goes wrong, they react. It becomes automatic. But there is a difference. Reaction is instant. Response is thoughtful. Reaction is emotional. Response is controlled. Reaction is weak. Response is powerful. The goal is not to stop feeling. The goal is to stop letting feelings control your actions. Pause. Just for a few seconds. In those few seconds, you take your power back. Lesson 7. Let go of ego. Ego is the biggest reason people react. Ego says, they can't talk to me like that. I need to prove myself. I can't let them win. And because of ego, you react, you argue, you explain, you fight. But here's the truth. Ego doesn't protect you. It traps you. Because the more you try to prove yourself, the more you lose yourself. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to react to every opinion. You don't need to win every argument. Sometimes, the real win is walking away in peace. Lesson 6. The moment that defines you. There was a man, a teacher. For 20 years, he built respect. He helped students. He gave everything to his work. One day, in a meeting, a new administrator stood up and criticized him. Publicly, unfairly. The room went silent. All eyes on him. In that moment, he had two choices. React or pause. His heart was racing. His chest was burning. Words were ready to explode. But he didn't speak. He took one breath. Just one. And then he said calmly, "I appreciate the feedback. Let's discuss this properly later." And he sat down. No argument, no drama. But something powerful happened. He didn't lose respect. He gained it. Because when everyone expected noise, he chose silence. And that silence was not weakness. That silence was power. Lesson 7. Why we react. Let's understand something. You don't react because you're weak. You react because you were never taught not to. As a child, when you were hurt, you cried. When you were angry, You shouted. When you were disrespected, you fought. Nobody taught you to pause. Nobody taught you to breathe. Nobody taught you that reaction is a choice. So your mind learned a pattern. Trigger to reaction to regret. And now, it happens automatically. But here's the truth. Not every problem is danger. Sometimes, it's just a message, a tone, a misunderstanding. But your body reacts like it's war. And later, you sit alone, holding the damage. Lesson 8, the 5-second rule. Now listen carefully. This can change your life. Next time you feel triggered, don't react. Pause. Just 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, your anger slows down, your mind wakes up, your control comes back, and you shift from reaction to response. Because reaction is emotional, response is powerful. 5 seconds can save a relationship. 5 seconds can protect your respect. 5 seconds can change your life.
Lesson 9. Most reactions become regrets. Think about your life, your biggest regrets. That message you sent in anger, that fight that ended everything, that moment you lost control. Ask yourself honestly, was it the situation or your reaction? Because truth is, we don't suffer from what happens. We suffer from how we respond. There was a woman. She loved her sister deeply. One day, during a family gathering, her sister said something hurtful. It touched an old wound, and she exploded. She shouted. She said things she didn't mean. That moment ended their relationship. Years later, she didn't remember the insult. She remembered her reaction. One moment, one reaction, a lifetime of regret. Lesson 10. Silence is a superpower. The world is loud. Everyone is shouting, arguing, proving. But the strongest people? They are quiet. Because they understand something powerful. Not everything deserves your response. There was a man. He was attacked online. Lies, fake stories, public humiliation. Everyone waited for his reaction. He said nothing. People judged him, but months later, the truth came out, and his silence became his strength. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. Lesson 11. Protect your energy. You don't have unlimited energy. Every reaction costs you something. Your peace, your focus, your time. So ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Not every argument matters. Not every opinion matters. Not every person matters. Some people don't want peace. They want reaction. And if you keep giving it, you lose yourself. Protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Lesson 12. Calm people win. Calm is power. When you stay calm, you think clearly. You act wisely. You lead naturally. There was an old man on a train. A drunk man entered, angry, shouting, out of control. Everyone reacted, except one man. He stayed calm. And when the drunk man came close, ready to fight, he said softly, "I'm sorry for whatever hurt you today." And suddenly, everything changed. The man broke down. He sat. He cried. And the entire train went silent. One calm person changed everything. Final message. From today, stop reacting to everything. Not every comment needs your reply. Not every situation needs your emotion. Not every person deserves your energy. Choose calmness. choose silence, choose control. Because the less you react, the more powerful you become. And remember this always. You are not weak for staying calm. You are powerful beyond measure. So the next time life tries to provoke you, pause, breathe, smile, and choose not to react.